guys, welcome to Seduce Me, Damien's Epilogue. Hashtag cinnamon roll, because he really is. So city lights. And the lights go down in the city. Damien might ask Angel to marry him, question mark? We shall see. I'm interested to see how this goes. Start it up. What's your name? Angel. I can never understand why, but whenever I found myself staring up into the sky at night, I always found myself lost in the moon's glow. The white and silver light just seemed to capture my attention, no matter how many stars peeked out of the darkness of space. It was impossible to tell how the moon, good grief. Let's try that again. It was impossible to tell how the moon was able to have this magic spell over me, but it was a spell I didn't think much on. After all, I had someone in my life to fill my thoughts with. Damien became my everything. My sun, my stars, but not my moon. He was so precious to me, and I couldn't dare to think of letting him go. I wanted to cherish him for the rest of my life, and my heart solidified that promise in my chest. He was the first person I would see in the morning, and the last person I would see at night before going to sleep. My heart gave a gentle thump in my chest as I opened my eyes and stared at the man lying beside me, his hair tangled and messed about from sleep and his cheeks pink in peaceful slumber. How on earth did I get so lucky? Still, I was happy to know that I had finally found someone who made me feel absolutely happy, and I could only hope that I made him feel the same way.
What is it?
I love you. New art style, Damien. A simple smile and chuckle never made me feel so light.
And I love you. I love you so much.
I cuddled close to Damien. It was mid-afternoon, almost night, and Damien wasn't up for writing his children's book, so we settled on watching a movie in bed before dinner. However, Damien held me closer than he usually did. I didn't complain. It was just something I noticed and didn't really care to acknowledge as significant at the time. However, what he said surprised me.
Let's go to the city.
Huh? I stared at Damien incredulously. Why did he want to go to Chicago, especially midway through the afternoon? It's this dark midway through the afternoon. Still, despite my confusion, Damien smiled down at me with a hopeful gaze.
Can we? The city is much prettier at night.
I couldn't say no to him. Damien carried an innocence in his eyes that always convinced me to say yes to his small requests. Besides, it had been a while since we had gone to the city. Some windy city air was due for taking in. The city lights were always lovely to behold. Sure, let me get dressed and we'll head out. Ooh, so pretty. It took us a bit to get dressed and drive into the city. Damien had got James to teach him how to drive when we got together, and now Damien was able to get us anywhere we needed without much difficulty. Wait, so James knew how to drive, but... Okay, sure, maybe James taught himself. While Lakeshore Drive was still a terrible expressway, we were able to get to the Loop by dinner. We parked in a lot and began to walk around the city, taking in the sights of the magnificent mile and stopping in some new shops for a peek. It was exciting to see some of the Anderson toys being displayed in the windows of toy shops. Damien and I couldn't have been more proud of the company and Damien's brothers working behind it. Damien, look! I had to stop and point at a window display. Posed in a beautiful dance pose were two dolls, a boy and a girl, in front of an image of a beautiful spring sky. There was even a toy tree and fence to decorate the foreground. I was very certain it was designed for tourists, yet it seemed so out of the blue. Damien stared in awe, but slowly a smile grew on his face from the sight. He placed a hand on the window and peered closer at the pair of dolls, eyes full of wonder.
That is brilliant.
Ah. Yeah! I looked down beneath the window and stared at the plaque, obviously meant for describing the window display. A boy and a girl meet and a story begins under a spring sky. That is so sweet. Damien nods and looks around.
Are there any more like this window?
Let's see. I took my time to gaze over the windows of the buildings, hoping to find another like it. I knew of shops doing this for the holidays, but this one seemed to be too convenient to have just one display. I grinned as I locked my sight on another window, going around the corner towards Navy Pier. There! I gently grasped Damien's hand and led him to another window. I smiled, seeing the same pair of dolls embracing by a toy fountain. The image of the sky was darker, like the passing of time turned the sky a soft orange.
Oh, wow! What is this one?
The plaque says, "A dream to behold, endless like water." It was insanely symbolic, especially with the fountain with them. I felt my heart squeeze in glee, remembering how I met Damien and how he confessed his love to me in the spring hidden in the mansion. Yeah, I'm like, this is a little too convenient. Did you have your brothers help you, like, set up displays in some windows? And then the last window is gonna be him proposing to the girl. Oh my goodness, I foresee it. Dreams were endless like water, and I had indeed found mine with Damien. We continued down the block, catching windows with the same doll couple in different situations. They watched fireworks, went to the beach, and did other activities together. It was so cute and romantic that we wound up arriving at Navy Pier before we knew it. However, for some reason, the pier was empty and devoid of people. Very strange. Huh? Is Navy Pier closed today? Damien took out his phone and checked the website, shaking his head.
No, it says it's still open.
Huh. I was flabbergasted. Navy Pier was a giant tourist attraction, and yet no one was there? At my expression, Damien gave my hand a squeeze and guided me forward with him.
Well, since there are no crowds, why don't we take advantage and explore by ourselves?
Huh? Do you want to? Damien nodded, waiting for me to willingly come along for the ride. I grinned at the idea. We didn't have to wait in line for anything, nor did we have to maneuver our way through a busy tourist crowd of people. This was perfect. Damien and I began to walk through the pier, stepping into some of the shops. To my surprise, there were people working, and they were very excited to see us come up to their shops, giving us personal attention for whatever we needed. It was strange. We also managed to catch more displays of the doll duo in smaller cases. They walked through a park, played with a white cat. Were they new mascots for a brand that was spreading? I had to note their connection to Anderson Toys. There's the connection. I managed to catch a couple of the displays with accessories from their doll collection, like the clothes and the decorations. Did James or Matthew know about them? Did Damien? I think that's a pretty good possibility. Hey, Damien.
What is it?
Oh, Matthew, of course, could have, created all of these. Couldn't he have? Did James or Matthew ever talk to you about these dolls? They're from Anderson Toys. Damien smiled and nodded.
Yeah, I know about them.
Well then, who are they? A chuckle escaped Damien's lips before he guided me forward towards the area where the Ferris wheel was.
I'll tell you about it when we get on the Ferris wheel.
Because she's not going to figure it out. I grinned. While it was typical to ride the Ferris wheel when you went to Navy Pier, something about being the only passenger seemed really exciting. Would the operators bring us to the top and let us enjoy the night sky? I hope so. When we arrived at the gate, the operators of the wheel smiled at us and escorted us into one of the pods. It was comfy and warm despite it being cool outside. When they shut the doors, Damien and I smiled at each other, anxiously waiting for the pod to move. Finally, the wheel began to turn and we were slowly taken upwards. I couldn't help but be elated for the night sky we would see at the top. This is great. We're the only ones here and no one can bother us. Damien smiled before bringing out his cell phone and tapping through it quickly.
There's just one more thing that can make this perfect.
What's that? I half expected him to take a selfie of us. However, he handed me the phone, ushering me to look at the screen. I took it with a confused expression and looked down to see what he was presenting me. The doll duo was in front of the Ferris wheel, with the boy on one knee holding up a ring to the girl under a beautiful night sky. It suddenly hit me why the dolls were everywhere. This was a very elaborate proposal scheme, though. I gotta give you props for this. I slowly looked up at Damien just as the Ferris wheel brought us to the top and saw him on his knee presenting a ring to me. Oh my god.
You and I have been through so much. You've given me absolutely everything and made my story one worth telling the world. Over and over again. I want to make you as happy as you have made me. You deserve the world, and a million stories can't even begin to describe how wonderful you are. I humbly ask, will you marry me?
My heart began to swell in joy, and tears slowly began to fall down my cheeks. Memories of us together began to flood my thoughts, reminding me of how much we had gone through. I loved this man. I would do anything for him, as he would do anything for me, and the love in his eyes only confirmed my feelings. This was meant to be. Yes! Oh my god, yes! I leaned forward and hugged Damien tightly, feeling him quickly slip the ring between us onto my ring finger and kiss my cheek. I was so happy I didn't know what else to say. I was going to marry the love of my life. He's looking pretty pleased about how things went. As we pulled away, Damien leaned back and looked at the moon in the sky. It glimmered in the night, decorated with stars around its glow.
Tonight was a perfect night to see the city lights. Wouldn't you say so?
I moved to sit beside him and cuddled up to him while viewing the sky as well. I couldn't agree more. I love you.
I love you too.
The night was indeed perfection. I got to see our story in the windows of Chicago, painted beautifully like a fairy tale anyone would want to experience. I felt flattered to know that the city knew our story indirectly, but my entire being began to fill with warmth at how proud Damien was to have me as his. I couldn't wait to spend the rest of my life with Damien. Our story would end with a happily ever after. That was very sweet and cute. You are a little cinnamon roll, Mr. Damien, sir. But now that that's done, it means we're done. So, thank you very much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed that. We're not done with Hatoful Boyfriend. There are some mini episodes, and I just need to check which is the first one I'm going to do in my notes. It's called Preliminary Inspection. That's the first short episode we're going to check out over there. I have no idea what to expect, but I hope you will join me for that, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and until then, I'll see you later.